Spiders seem to always find our tent in the shoulder season. I think it's just a little bit warmer than the outside temperature, so they like to hide around. So if you're not a fan of spiders, which I'm definitely not, they like to hang around your tent in the mornings. I personally like to check my shoes in the morning. Spiders would suck, but I've definitely had slugs in here, which is really gross and not fun. So always check.
A beautiful morning on Hogan Lake. Only dampened by the grim reminder that even the most safest of sites can fall victim to old, dead trees.
So that was the tree that fell last night. And I guess not the whole tree, just a pretty significant branch. But I mean, if you hear any kind of tree crashing down at night, you're just gonna assume it's a big problem and run in the opposite direction, which is exactly what I did.
A hearty breakfast, campfire, and coffee chased the previous night's dreary memories away.
How are your eggs, Isaac?
Tasty.
Tasty eggs.
Well done.
10 out of 10.
Pretty good.
Would eat again.
Mm-hmm. You brushing your teeth?
Guess how many spiders I saw in the tent?
I know, so it wouldn't be a very good guess.
4!
4 spiders.
4. I had to shoot them away.
That's so scary.
It was. I had to get a
Were they
stick.
venomous spiders?
I don't know. They were wolf spiders. So I grabbed a stick and slingshot them off the tent.
That sounds real mean.
I don't need them near my personal business. Okay?
So we just got our canoes into the water here, and we're headed to the end of the lake so we can hit the Madawaska River and start paddling it. Haven't seen anyone on the lake this morning, but we think there's a group camping down here. Dad thought he heard voices, but we'll see. Really, this lake's just kind of been quiet. I mean, we know there's people out here, but even wildlife, not much in terms of loons. It's been pretty silent. Whatever voices we thought we heard never existed. No one was camping at the end of the lake. We think we've spotted our first portage of the day. It's straight ahead at 12 o'clock. It's a 200-meter portage into the Little Madawaska, which will be a blessed gift given yesterday's fun 3,700-meter extravaganza. Probably the best put-in of the day. walked for a minute, dropped off the stuff, and now we're gonna go back and get the rest of the gear and walk to the end of the portage. Off we go to the end of the portage with the rest of the gear. And the boys will pick up the stuff we dropped off and we'll be done. Much easier than a 3,700 meter, eh? There's Dad. How was that? Nice.
A brief map check before we venture out to our next portage. We stopped to enjoy a little waterfall. Really, the remnants of a dam used for logging operations many years ago. And away on the Little Madawaska River we go.
So I'm currently stuck on a rock and Mom and Dad are kind of waiting. We had to do a bit of a whitewater maneuver to get into the put-in here. But as you can see, it's pretty flooded out. So Isaac is kind of using a mixture of rocks in the canoe to get the gear out, and then he's going to create a bridge for me to get out and over.
The tricky put-in didn't slow us down. Soon enough, the 100-meter portage was complete.
A nice short 100-meter paddle after the chaos of trying to get into this portage. Where are we now?
We are 2 portages into the Little Madawaska. We got a few hundred meters of paddling, and then a 1,500 meter portage. And then we've got a big stretch of river and Phillip Lake, and then a stretch of river before our next portage.
Wow.
And another tricky put-in to keep us on our toes.
Rock.
Of course, the short portages didn't last. Right back into longer walks in the woods. The trout lilies were gorgeous on this portage, just a carpet of yellow on the forest floor.
So this is our second 10-minute shuttle. We'll see if the boys have got to our packs that we've dropped. Maybe, maybe not. This is a 1,500 meter, so It's like a 50-50 chance. I'm assuming that they will have got them by now. And now we walk. There's so many trout lilies up on this section of trail. It's lovely. Beautiful day. An okay portage. Generally flat. Pretty well maintained. Not bad overall. Doesn't look like the boys have got our gear yet. So that means we still have a ways to go on this one. Just saw another couple of paddlers coming from the other way though. They had a very cute white dog. We love a good boardwalk. Love, love, love. There are the boys. It looks like they're clearing trail. So they'll get the packs and we'll finish off this portage with the gear that we have on our backs. I can see water down there, so I think we're just about done this portage. Getting close. Then just one more for today, if I recall correctly. A moose has come in here very recently. Those are some pretty big footprints. Also, that was not the end of the portage. We just got close to some rapids on the Little Madawaska. A little trick. Now this is the end of the portage. We're right beside the river where there's a bunch of alder. Pretty overgrown, but we'll manage fine. Well done.
The current was surprisingly strong on the Little Madawaska River. That's spring high water, eh?
We're just about to enter Phillip Lake.
We were greeted with very windy conditions on the water. Lots and lots of whitecaps.
I was wrong. These are some decent sized waves.
Yeah. Oh wow. Making my feet wet. We've stopped for a brief break before continuing into the wind. I'm really liking the lichen up there. Ha ha ha. Almost to the end of Phillips Lake, back onto the Little Madawaska. We have about 1 kilometer of paddling until we hit our next portage.
Very happy to be out of the wind and back in shelter on the river.
We're not sure if we're eating lunch here, but there are ruins, or at least a clearing where Farm Depot used to be, so at the very least we're checking it out. Oh yeah, there's a big clearing. Something used to be here for sure.
We found an old collapsed building here. So where there's 4 square, walls with the trees on them, and they're all the roofs collapsed. So that's the hole in the middle. The walls look a lot bigger than they used to be because they've all fallen and jumbled, and there's roots and trees and all that sort of thing.
So, where everyone is walking is where we think root cellars used to be. Obviously, not much left now, but at the time. The corner of another building.
We found the old ranger cabin here as well.
Back to the canoes now, so we can get to our portage and have lunch. Back on the Little Madawaska after our heritage minute of the day. Very fun times. Just about made it to our next portage. An 1100 meter jaunt in the woods. But first, time for lunch. Oh, finally a good pudding. They've been all terrible today so far. Yeah. Comparatively.
Our lunch spot reminded us of the scenery on the Spanish River. Lunch was the same as always: meat, cheese, peanut butter, jam, and wraps. A welcome break from a bunch of paddling and portaging throughout the morning. We happily munched and snacked away. Mom managed to squeeze in some light reading. All smiles out on the trail. As always, though, the trail calls again. Time to get portaging.
This portage follows an old logging road, which is pretty nice. Smooth sailing overall. We'll probably get this portage done a lot faster than normal, just given the level terrain. Just saw the boys, so looks like we'll be done this portage in very good time. We only had to do one kind of hopscotch situation with our gear. And now I can walk right to the end of the portage.
The end of a portage, one of the best sights to see.
Looks like there's a brand spanking new logging road that intersects this one. Cool.
Felt so sorry for Mom. She had some pretty bad blisters. Fortunately, our portaging for the day was done. Just waiting on the boys to bring the last of our gear to the put-in. Back on the Little Madawaska again, but this time with fishing gear in tow. With our last portage complete, it was time to catch some dinner.
So we both had fish nibble, but no success, so we are now gonna go find a different location. Right, Isaac?
Right, what?
We have to find a new location because the fish weren't
Yep.
biting.
Yep.
So far, Dad is winning the fishing games. He caught a brook trout and a baby fish, which means that he is winning in the tally. We must defeat him.
Isaac eventually had some success.
Well, he just ate. He's throwing up all his food.
Did he just throw a fish?
There were 4 fish in him that he was throwing up.
Oh, he gave you a gift, like a cat.
Well, fish often do that. They'll try and throw everything up to see if they can get it out.
Baby Brookie.
So Isaac has caught a fish. We're not really sure if Dad has caught more fish, but we're getting close to our campsite for the night. But we still need to catch another couple fish, so we'll see what happens. I haven't had any luck yet, and I really want to catch fish.
Spoiler alert, we did not catch a couple more fish.
Plan was to be at our campsite, but we don't know where it is. It's supposed to be opposite of this particular portage, and we don't know if it is. So the boys are walking back to scout it out, and we're waiting here with the fish and seeing what they find. Because this is a big old portage. Like, this is a well over 3,000 meter portage that we really don't want to do at 5 o'clock. So hopefully the campsite is just a ways over there. We think we found the site. It's not, there's no sign for it. It's marked on all the maps and we specifically booked it, but there's no clear way in. You basically have to bushwhack, as you see here. It's not great. So the access point to the site is here. It's just really, really hard to see. There is actually no like typical Algonquin sign. There is though. You can see a very small piece of orange flagging tape, and there's a path up. So it is a lot better than the sheer vertical that we climbed up. The site's there, it's just hasn't been used in a while. Not well loved. How you feeling, Isaac?
Thirsty.
Thirsty from tugging the canoe all the way up that steep hill? Yeah? So this site has not been used for a very long time. I mean, it's a decent site. There's pretty flat tent pads and a good view over this swampy part of the river, but just not well used at all. The poop chute's in good form, though. Very nice form. That pile of wood. That's what success looks like. The boys are setting up a tarp because we're expecting rain either tonight or tomorrow. Better to be safe than sorry.
After lugging our canoes up to camp the wrong way, we set up our gear and started settling in for the night. Dad tried to catch more fish, but no luck. We still ate very, very well, though. The fire was toasty. The fish were tasty. And the views were pretty great. So tasty. We didn't think a sunset was going to happen, but wow, it sure did. And the spring peepers, the loudest I've ever heard.